Hey fairies! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I do hope y'all keep it cool, calm, and classy today. So, today is gonna be a general love reading, okay? I don't do many of these. I do not do many of these. I talk about connection, I talk about potential of connection, but I don't really be talking about a lot of love. I don't be talking about love. So that's how you know. That's how you know. Okay? So we are going to reimburse the energy in these cards. We're just going to be flipping through them, seeing what's good. So I feel a heavy clearing. I feel a very heavy clearing. I think that you have come to the conclusion of a lot of inner argument within yourself. I guess that's what inner argument would be, right? So, okay. Just flip it. We flip it. We flip it. So I like to split the deck because sometimes when I like feather them out the way people do, they all be falling over. Okay, so today we got the Five of Pentacles over here, or Cinco de Oros, if you will. And so I only say that because this is en español. So anyway, I think that you might be feeling a little abandoned. I think you're feeling a little abandoned in your life. And I think that it was normalized to a point that made you kind of put it off. And now you're really coming into the conclusion of the fact that you were left with an empty cup. You were left with an empty cup while many others were feeding off of it. Right? I feel like there's more to say about that. But I do know that you are finally coming to the conclusion, a lot of conclusion energy here, that you aren't happy where you are. You weren't happy in whatever relationship was not serving you clearly. You are really coming to a time of rejoicing with your inner child and understanding that everything that you didn't get will be returned to you. Everything that you didn't get will be returned to you through the understanding of the hard work that you have put into it. All of the hard work that you have put into everything that you were trying to receive up to this point, first and foremost, you didn't even have to put in that much work. First and foremost, you might have put in a little too much work. So now you're gonna have to get a little ready for the very heavy blessings, okay? And on the note of love, I do feel that a part of these heavy blessings are going to be a very divine connection, okay? A very divine connection, and a connection that helps you, now encourages you. It encourages you to feel that you have so much to live for. It encourages you to feel like a human again, is what I'm getting. Because you've been in this time, a very long time, of feeling so aside yourself, feeling like you don't have much to live for, feeling like everybody around you is getting all of the blessings that you're working for. And to an extent, I could say that that may be partially not wrong, because all of the energy, right, that you have been putting in to getting this blessing and receiving everything that you need was tied up through a connection that wasn't serving you. What do I mean by this? Okay, so what I mean by this is the fact that people who never went on the beginning of the journey to begin with are still holding your energy back. So you're doing everything within your power to move on, to move through, to get over all of the obstacles that have been holding and tying you up. Not taking time to realize within yourself that the connections that you have encountered, you haven't necessarily let go of, but I really feel that you are getting to a point where you are severing these ties. And within that, you are regaining your energy because you are taking back everything that other people have been ciphering from you through this journey that you have gone on. So while all of these other people are staying back and watching you do this work and judging you from their pedestal, they're ciphering all of the rewards that you are working so tirelessly to reap in the first place. That don't mean that you're not going to get it back. That don't mean that you're not going to get it back tenfold, okay? I've been hearing tenfold a lot. You're going to get it back tenfold and then some, okay? And the reason that you're going to get it back is because all of that energy that you've been putting in has been multiplying within itself this whole time because you haven't been reaping it. You haven't been reaping it. Just because other people cipher off of it doesn't mean that they've been getting all of it. It doesn't mean that they've been getting the genuine source of it, is what I'm hearing. So they may be getting like just scraping off the top, like, I hate to refer to it this way, but they're just getting a little scab, okay? They're just, it's so gross. That's just how I'm hearing it. They're literally just getting a little scab off of your energy. Okay, and I feel this, okay, so this is symbolic because they're taking, I hate this analogy, okay, but okay, it's gonna get better. So they're taking these scabs off of your energy because you are continuously getting wounded. Your energy is continuously being wounded through the ciphering of what they are taking away from you without you realizing it, okay, so within that, you are starting to see your worth. You're starting to see your worth, and I feel like it's so much deeper than that because you're understanding that all of that imbalance was not of you, okay? All of that imbalance that you were experiencing, not only was it not of you, but it was from a heartbreak that you were prolonging. And not only prolonging, but being taught that it was normal. Being taught that that imbalance within your equilibrium was the way that you were supposed to be a human. That was the only way that you could establish a genuine balance. That was the only, you know what, aside from all of that, that was the only way that you were taught that you could be successful. The only way that you were taught you could receive love, right? The only way that you thought that you would receive beauty from life. Okay? And so you're finally coming to the conclusion that you're not getting what you need from this perspective. Excuse me. That was dramatic. I do feel that you are, experiencing a different emotion within yourself. You're finally getting your passion back. You're finally getting your drive back. And even if you are not in the environment to encourage this drive, to encourage everything that you want to complete, to encourage everything that you want to commence, you are still, what are you still doing? Obviously you're still being yourself, but you are still sitting within that prosperity. You are still, okay, so you're looking at who you are. And I always get serving your inner child from over here. That's just the energy. I always get the cups energy from the stained glass. So I feel like, for me, right? I feel like you are essentially sitting within your energy and you are daydreaming about what could be. You are daydreaming about what can be. You are daydreaming about everything that is possible. And you are letting go of the logical aspect that you have been living through, because not only are you dialing down and kind of like letting go finally, but you are sitting with the fact that the logical perspective that you have been establishing throughout your journey is only holding you back. It only is bringing you right back to the start of the game, to the start of the board, to the exact emotional state that you have been running from this whole time. So yes, you are still establishing and applying logic to your life. You are a very logical and considerate and understandably, you're very understanding towards your situation. And whether or not it serves you, you still find a reason to keep going through the difficulties and keep being yourself and keep applying yourself to the best of your ability in a toxic environment that is holding you back. Regardless, you're gonna be yourself. Regardless, you're gonna say it's so, okay? And you know, I watch readings a lot. And I get so tired of being told that everything is going to be okay. And I get so tired of being told that my life is going to be abundant in the near future because I need it now. I need it now. And I've gone a really long time being patient. And I'm sure that if you resonate with what I'm saying, you have gone a really long time being inhumanely patient. Okay? And it's not normal. It's not normal. You have needs that need to be met. And that is what being a human is. You can't fix that. There's nothing to fix about it. Whoa, I just realized it looks so much shorter on this. There's nothing to fix about being human because we are here as an astral element of the universe to experience a perspective through a human vessel, right? There's nothing to change about it. It is beauty. It is imperfectly perfect. And I know that you may be struggling. I'm hearing definite financial struggles. Definite financial struggles. And if you are financially stable, maybe you are experiencing emotional struggles. Maybe you feel empty every day. So, just sitting with this frequency real quick. Yeah, I mean, just like the continuous, everything's gonna be okay. It's gonna work itself out. And then you're gonna find yourself in a really good spot. I'm tired too, man, because it gets to a point where the repetition of a view of myself that is highly abundant is only holding me back. It's getting to the point where that in itself is genuinely putting me in a place of lack. To think about, well, maybe in the future, like in the future, I'm tired. I'm tired of saying, definitely in the future at some point I'm going to be okay. I need to be okay now. I need to be comfortable now. I need human connection now. And that is not selfish to feel that way, because it is part of your destined path. That is everything that belongs to you. Everything that belongs to you. And I'm not talking physicalities. I'm not talking materialism. I'm talking connection between two people. I'm talking connection between soul families, okay? Like, the family that you may have known in the past, that you grew up with, that was blood family, may not be as close to the truth as you have been taught it was. May not be as close to love as you were told that it was. So, okay, what do I mean by that? I mean that when you are in a fight, this is coming out specific. When you were in a fight with your family, if you may resonate with this and you may not, okay? So, when you were in a fight with your families, and you laid down really good points, you laid down really good, boundaries. you would just be told, well, I love you though. Well, I love you though. Well, I love you though. I'm sorry that you think I'm this. I'm sorry that blah, 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 blah. So you were being brainwashed into believing that you're selfish for needing genuine human connection. So throughout time, you just settled for the basic. You just settled for legitimately scraps. And you were told, so basically, like, you were taught to settle for everything that is opposing to everything that you deserve. And people didn't want you to receive this because they knew that it was not in their contract as well. Because they knew not only treating you horribly, treating many people in their life horribly, right? Waitresses, I'm hearing heavy on the waitresses. Bank tellers, store clerks, whoever it may be, even friends. So all of this karma is coming back to them, and it's not going to be as beautiful as yours. Because you legitimately are taking your karma back. I think that's referred to as dogma. You're taking all of what is stemming off of your treatment of others back. So you've been giving it out this whole time because you've been protecting everybody around you. So anyway, now that all of fake love is covered, I always breach that subject of other people. Every time I try to sit down and talk about something else, it always comes up because I think it's a colossal complex that you have been living through. And I say through because I know collective go and get through it. Okay, they go and get through it. They go and get through it. So let's focus on who you are going to encounter. Okay, let's focus on who you're going to encounter, because you will. And I know it's very hard to believe. And I know you may not feel good enough. You may still be learning that you're good enough. You may still be learning a lot about yourself. But you are going to get to the point within yourself. It's really about one step at a time. Because, yes, you're going to have an abundant future if you continue down this path. But if you sit in your stagnance, if you sit in your complexes, you're going to be continuously going to that same spot on the game board that you don't understand how to surpass. That's just how it works. Like, you can be as good of a person as you want. The universe don't give a fuck about that. It don't give a fuck about that. Okay? It sees you're a good person and it appreciates it, but the fact that you're not reaping and accepting and receiving your weapons, I heard weapons heavy. That you're not reaping and receiving your weapons in correlation to establishing boundaries with others. Because boundaries are not just physical. Boundaries are not just verbal. They are spiritual. If you can't tell yourself, I'm not happy holding on to this person from my past, and then work to move on from that, then you are going to continuously be ciphered. And you are going to continuously wonder why you are ending up on the same spot on the game board. So you thinking about Candyland, right? So think about like the monstrosity of abundance of how much candy, is at Candyland. This is just like a goofy reference, but think about all of, the sweets and the treats and the beauties that you are going to be able to encounter when you get to the end of that game board. And it's not even about getting to the end of your life, okay? I feel the need to really speak on this, because this is not even about the end or the destination. This is about getting where you need to at a stable foundation to build your life up from there. Whether or not you experience it now is just part of the process. So if you finally get to the point where you're feeling really good about yourself and you feel full and you feel warm and you feel like your environment encourages that, then imagine what you can build from that Imagine where you can go from that, because you've done so much from a toxic environment. Imagine what you can do from an encouraging and supportive environment, right? So it's not just about getting to that environment and then the game's over. It's not. It's about living at Candyland, okay? It's kind of about that. It's about seeing how long you can live and maintain and sustain and establish beautiful encounters and connections while you're in Candyland, okay? So that is what heaven on earth is consistent of. And, sometimes people get stuck in a loop of feeling like they are in a hellish environment, and then they insist that life is hell. It can be. It can be. Anything can be. Too much of anything without moderation can be. Excuse me. Too little of anything with no moderation can be, just literally having nothing. Anything can be. Having too much can be. So it's all about perspective. It's all about how you feel about yourself on the inside and that stable foundation. So, this is a bit of we're kind of covering every angle here. So, now that we have covered the environment that you're capable of breaching, the environment that you're capable of encountering, because you are, and you are worth it. When I say worth it, I don't just mean worth it. You worth it. You worth it, okay? You are worth the environment that is encouraging you to be successful. You're worth the whole plane of existence, okay? Wow, itchy nose. I forgot what that means, but we're just gonna say success. We're just gonna say success, okay? Because I'm feeling heavy success. And I'm feeling like you have so much more inside of you that's brewing than you might even think you do. I'm talking bulk, okay? And I'm talking quantity and quality is what I'm talking. Yeah, okay. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm playing y'all. I just literally skim through them. I'll be skimming through them and okay. So you are in an environment, right? That's making you feel so weak. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think that the reason I'm struggling to meet a love reading, because that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like this is intended to be a love reading. That's what I'm feeling like. But I feel like this heavy complex of your imbalanced environment is making you feel like nobody's gonna love you. Right? It's time to breathe through it. It's time to breathe through it because you've been accepting that. You've been sitting with and accepting that complex. So it's making you somebody who's feeling like all of the fight that they're putting in isn't enough. Okay, and I feel like this is a heavy complex with why you are not experiencing love. Nothing is wrong with you, but you are consistently telling yourself that you're not enough because your environment doesn't reflect it. So of course your environment is going to continuously reflect that you're not enough because you keep saying that you're not enough. It's a paradox. You're stuck in a paradox. And you feel like because you are stuck in this paradox, you cannot be loved through it. You feel like you are never going to experience the worth of letting go. You are never going to experience the worth of just accepting that you got hurt. The beauty of accepting that you have been hurt with your inner child, this card wanted to come out, with your inner child, and genuinely understanding that you still have a whole part of yourself that you have not learned yet, that you have not explored yet. This is so interesting. This is all coming out for a reason. Okay, so now you're enough. You're enough. And I know it's so hard to believe, but it's all about it, honestly, like it comes back to cleansing your energy, journaling, stretching, and eating good. And when you feel good inside and you got some veggies going on, then it's so much easier to look at yourself, because aside from everything else, aside from environment, aside from internal conflict, you have to establish yourself through the pain. Because if you continuously tell yourself that you're not enough through the pain, then you are prolonging your pain. Unfortunately, you are prolonging your pain. You're only going to put yourself in the mindset. I'm hearing satire. Yeah. It's just like this betrayal towards yourself. Okay. I want to say that this is a self-love reading, but let's get a little something. Let's get a little something on who you gonna meet. Okay. Yes. Here's a little something. Okay, so I do feel that you and your significant future other, because I feel that many of Collective is gonna meet somebody new. I feel many of Collective is gonna meet somebody new. So I feel that you and your future self, I wanted to say, okay, are very much establishing boundaries with a negative power, are very much establishing, giving up instant gratification in order to get prolonged gratification within each other. So you are genuinely putting everything aside in order to establish a deep and genuine and rich connection. And it's not like you're just not being a human still. Like, you still are going to have bad days. You're still going to feel like you're not worth it some days. You're still going to feel like you're not worth the attentiveness some days. And that's just what life after abuse is. Okay? That's just what it is. So it's time to finally go back home. You just gotta go back home. You just gotta go back home. You gotta turn around at least, okay? Because you're trying to go on this journey of legitimately changing yourself for the better. You've already changed yourself. You've already, shifted so much within yourself. You've already became a better version of who you are days ago, who you were months ago, who you were years ago. So you're trying to get to a destination of a better version of yourself that already exists. So here's what I'm hearing. To turn around and to just see that, to just sit with that. Literally, okay, you could be walking down this path, just sit down. Sit on the sidewalk, sit on the golden path, whatever you gotta do. Just sit down. Look up at the sky and realize that the way that you perceive things is already exactly what you have been chasing this whole time. So that's why you are worth love. I mean, like, everybody is worth love. Everybody. But you are able to perceive love in a way that is genuine, and perceive love in a way that is slow and grounded. And that is the most important part of giving up all of your negative hobbies in order to receive something beautiful. Okay? So in order to receive your full self, understand, okay, what are we getting? I want to say the right thing. Understand that through the choices that you've had, you decided to reflect yourself in an environment that was reflecting the opposing truth of who you are. You continuously said, this is me. You continuously said, I know who I am. You continuously said, I don't really care what you think. Like, I care what I think. I care what I think. If I start caring what you think, I'm gonna, like, lose a lot. I'm gonna lose a lot more than I've already lost. So I just don't care. I just don't care. No, I just don't care. I'm just getting a continuous... I'm getting a really heavy... I want to know. I want to know I'm saying this right. So okay. Here's what I'm getting. So you're throwing your abundance into the air and you're saying, I don't need that. You're throwing the abundance into the air and saying, like, I'm not worth that, or I can't hold that, whatever you might be saying. And then it's directly coming back to you. It's directly on the wheel of fortune spinning right back to you. And then you keep saying, like, I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. You're so humble. You're so humble. And I think that is a huge complex of why you think that you're not worth love. Because you're so happy with yourself. You're so happy with yourself that you are not receiving your blessings. You're so happy with yourself and you love yourself so deeply that you are not receiving external forms of that love. And I think that is so self-loving of you. Because it's really easy to just get lost in being alone and say, like, I need everything externally to make me feel better about being alone. But in this case, if you have made it this far, you are certainly sitting with yourself and you're saying, I'm proud of who I am. I will refuse to take this isolation as a punishment. Okay, that's what you're doing. So this is the thing, because part of you, yes, of course, part of you is so happy with yourself that you are not taking in external blessings. And part of you is just so happy with yourself. Part of you is so happy with yourself that you just want a healthy environment to be yourself in, with stable food security is what I'm really getting. And I think that you, as I have said in a past reading, are trying to divide your gifts. You're trying to divide the energy and the frequency of the wheel of fortune that is trying to meet your frequency. And then when you're not receiving everything because you're so happy within yourself, you're wondering what it is about yourself that is not enough for this world. I'm going to tell you right now, you're probably a little bit too much for not this whole planet, but the idea of the world that you hold. The environment that you have grown up in and been submerged within. Yeah, you're a little bit too much for that. And that doesn't make you a bad person, because you have like this little fragment, like this little splinter. You have a little splinter of thinking that being too much for your environment makes you a really selfish and greedy, narcissist. Which is, first of all, very intense. So, like, it's so funny because you're really happy with who you are, but you like, hate yourself for it a little bit. Like, maybe not hate, but, like, you guilt yourself for it. For sure. And flip a card. This is what I'm getting. Okay. So you have been so proud of what you have held through this entire experience, entire environment, that when you get somebody, okay, this was supposed to be upside down. When you get somebody in your life that is trying to, give you something, you are genuinely just rejecting it. You are genuinely just rejecting it and then expecting them to be narcissistic. So you're waiting for, you're not waiting for your gifts. And not only are you not waiting for your gifts, you're still trying to divide and negate them. So within negating them, you are expecting negative encounters, okay? Because you just keep thinking that you're a bad person for being too good for your environment. This was supposed to be a love reading, but that's literally it kind of is, because that's literally everything that is in the way of your significant and divine alter perspective, I guess you could say. Good for you though, because like you really survived a lot. And if the only thing in your way is you, if the only thing in your way after literally going through hell is a tiny fucking splinter, then dude, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. One more card. So yes, I feel like that was like a reading that was about, okay, this card wants to come out, right? That card was oh my gosh, I'm like lost. I'm lost in space. So that was a reading that was literally about why you feel so lost, but why you still are so enchanted with yourself. You look at yourself every day and you're just like, ooh, enchanté. Monsieur, enchanté, madame. Anyway, my point is that you are reaching a time of fully submerging yourself into everything that does not serve you. And within fleeing all that does not serve and meet you, you are finding a light and a passion within yourself that is finally, you're feeling like this guy. Like, maybe you don't feel that way externally, but you are internally this guy right here. And you're saying, yeah! Woo! This is me! This is me, baby! So yes, you may feel really bad about everything that other people are going to receive. You may feel really bad about sending back evil eye, about sending back dog and karma, and about sending back everything that has held you back initially. And when I say that you hold yourself back, I don't mean it's just you. I mean like everything you've been taught is making you feel bad for moving on. But you're still accepting that you should feel bad for moving on. So I do feel that you are finally fleeing from that and seeing that things are not serving your highest light and contributing to your fairest and most sublime frequency. That is you. That is you. Just because other people have held your energy for such a long time, it doesn't mean that it isn't yours. Right? So you feel like sending back this, and I feel like this is a huge part of it. You feel like sending back this evil eye and sending back that karma and the dogma is just like a projection of yours. You feel like it's your projection. You feel like after years of being bullied, to actually give that back is being the bully. And I'm going to be real. You were taught to feel that way. You were taught to think that you're selfish, literally. But when you use the sun, right? When you when you literally embody the frequency of the sun, you are going to be able to shine everything that is truth onto your life. And you're going to be able to look around and say, dang, like this really is not me at all. And I was told that I would be selfish if I felt any other way, that I would be a bully if I sent back the energy that was hurting me. So you're living in this energy that is not you, that you are being told you're wrong to feel and to understand and to see that it isn't yours in the first place. So you're like, yeah, okay, I'll just hold on to it because I know like there's a really good chance that other people won't be able to survive and sustain this negativity. You know, the people who have hurt you in the first place, I'm going to say like they probably don't think much. They probably don't think about the right things much. They probably don't put their energy into positive crevices within the universe. So you have like this gnawing feeling that when you finally send all of this energy back, it's gonna hurt people. And you're gonna feel like you're hurting people. And you're gonna feel like you are the bully for that. But how can you be the bully when you just accidentally took the wrong suitcase and you're sending it back to them? How can you be the bully? You're just replacing lost luggage.